Welcome to an audio experience that will pique your curiosity and soothe your soul. Join Dr. Dee Evans, your host, as she creates a space for women from all walks of life to reflect upon their life experiences with topics that range from love, spirituality, and pop culture. These discussions will engage and support you on your journey of wholeness and freedom. Welcome to the Hey Sis podcast.
Hey y'all, and thank you for listening to the Hey Sis podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the spirit of competition. And competition is, well, first of all, when people compete in church, I think it's hilarious because hopefully I'm not involved in that. I hate being the one competed with, and I am never the competitor because I know who I am. But it is a good kiki when I am in the congregation minding my business. You can see someone competing. It is like, first of all, both of y'all look foolish, but there are moments where people become unhinged in Black church that are forever etched in my mind. Like I visibly remember, I can't even say the names, Jesus. I visibly remember two people competing about who could holler the loudest with this gospel song. And when I tell you it sounded like screeching hyenas, because neither one of them could sing. But these are moments in Black church that I feel like just create a sense of Black telepathy. Because everybody knew y'all sound like Scar from Lion King and then the hyena just going back and forth. Y'all, it's just a lot going on, okay? And when I think about competition, y'all gonna laugh. I do think about that moment because it was so visible to me. I'm like, why are y'all competing about who can squall the most about a song that's supposed to be about the Lord? Neither one of y'all can really sing, okay? Y'all are just bitter about your lives. We all know it. You all are both trying to outsing one another. And here, and I guess the tea really is they were competing for a man that we all know who the man was. They just like Effie and Dina from Dreamgirls, just going back and forth. Lord help her. This time, Effie White. Oh, Lord. Someone's going to know what I'm talking about, and I'm just going to leave it there, okay? Anyway, so, and that was a Dreamgirls reference. If you have not watched Dreamgirls, it is very much worth it. And shameless plug also. Y'all know I love music that's just uplifting, mostly music without words, but I do love music, period. And I did inch on over to Cowboy Carter, and I'm not a Beyonce fan per se. I just love music, and I prefer music that is uplifting. I will say that again. But that little Two Most Wanted with her and Miley Cyrus, let me tell y'all something. Them women are singing, you hear me? So if you see that song in one of my reels, I done told you, the women are singing. And they're singing because it's not just that Miley Cyrus is allowed on the song. It's that they're singing together. It's a duet for real. Like most like features are like, oh, this person gets a line or two. No, this song is both of them creatively, artistically, and I have great appreciation for it. And it will be on one of my stories or when like I show y'all who Bay is. I'm probably going to have that song on there. Thanks. I slid that in there, didn't I? Let me clarify that. Hypothetically, if there was a Bay, I would put that song on a little video of said Bay. Okay? Thank you. So let's get to the spirit of competition. Oh, Lord, help. So, why do I think competition is worth speaking about on this podcast? Because I think it's something that is unspoken. I mean, like we see it. Like we see people compete on Top Chef. We see people compete on The Voice. But when we are competed with on a smaller scale, it can take a real toll on your mind. Everyone wants to stand out from the crowd, especially now. Everybody trying to be the best. Everybody trying to be the next TikTok sensation. But there's a scarcity, as it seems, for individuals who just want what is for them, their purpose, their destiny. But it's a pandemic out here, and it's not COVID. The pandemic is a lust for fame. It's a lust for notoriety. And specifically, I think that competition has been taken to new levels and new depths because of social media, because people are now allowed to make different conclusions about your life based on a picture, based on likes, based on comments, based on what they perceive that you're achieving, and then look at their life because they're full of insecurity and they're like, oh my God, I don't have that. So now I'm just going to enter into a competition with them because I want to be seen as someone that has more. So from a social perspective, I think competition will always be here. So I don't want you to think you can pray a prayer and rid the earth of competition. As long as there will be people, there will be competition. And in many cultures, competition is encouraged because it means you achieved some level of success. But in kingdom, we don't need competition. Okay? We're supposed to love one another, not be rivaling against one another. You know, it's weird. It's weird. So I think there's quite a few factors that create a spirit, that create a space where the spirit of competition can reside in a person. I think it's biological. I think it's socialization and upbringing. I think one of the earliest forms of competition that you can probably be exposed to is sibling rivalry. See, my brother is so much older than me. I don't feel like I had to deal with that, but I did have to deal with cousin rivalry because my mom raised other children from her sisters. Like she raised her nieces and nephews. And I feel like when I was born, these grown women, I mean, fully grown, I'm talking about over 15 years older than me, were jealous of me. Like making comments. Oh, you got all the baby dolls. What do you mean I got all the baby dolls? You are grown. You can drive. You got kids. And you're making stupid, jealous comments about me having more baby dolls than you had in 1955. It's not making sense. But again, it can be... Here's what I'll say. I know what that stems from now, but as a child, it was just so unnecessary. Just so unnecessary. And especially in Black communities, we allow so much negativity to permeate and call it, oh, leave it alone, or that's just how they are. And so many things need to be spoken to in order to break up these generational curses. Now, if I was my mama and somebody said that around my child or made consistent comments that my child don't deserve what they have because they didn't have it, let me tell you something. We're going to have a whole come to Jesus moment because you're not going to place your insecurities on my baby and put that in her hearing and make her think that she doesn't deserve what I'm giving her because you feel like you didn't get X, Y, Z. We're not doing it. Okay. And then, like I said, African-American homes and families, this is kind of pushed under the rug and it becomes a conduit for low self-esteem. It becomes a conduit for fear of failure. It becomes a conduit for scarcity mindset. I didn't have room to not succeed because everybody was jealous of me from the jump. I didn't have room to fail because everybody thought I was going to succeed. They were jealous of success I didn't have yet. Ridiculous. So on the flip side of you talented and anointed women that I know I'm speaking to, you have already encountered people who have a strong need for validation, for recognition, for power. And it's really stemming from some sort of insecurity or ego issue, or they're just being overly egocentric. And while we cannot eradicate that in every person that we encounter that's competitive, it's important that you know how dangerous the spirit of competition can be. And when I say dangerous, I want you to know it is a part of a grouping of spirits. Competition isn't necessarily a spirit, but it's a manifestation of workings of spirits. And especially if you're anointed and gifted and you you primarily exude these gifts in church. Well, it can happen in the workplace too, but let me just say for the church girls up in this mug, okay? Let's say you just are the most gifted worship leader. I should have said that, most gifted. Let's say it's evident that you are anointed to lead the people in song. You are anointed, okay? And there's going to be competition. Look, them worship teams are full of it, okay? People will try to harm you because you can hit a note better than they can. It's so asinine. But there are a lot of religious leaders that allow competition to take place in their pulpits, in their worship teams, as a means of survival. And I don't understand it. But as a church baby, I can tell you right now, competition is the reason why so many of my friends have fallen away from the faith. The manifestations of competition is why so many people have fallen away from the church, the institutionalized church. Because competition is an outward manifestation of envy, jealousy, murder, revenge, spite, anger, rage, jealousy, hatred. I already said jealousy. I'll say it twice. Hatred, cruelty, strife, contention, competition, division, rivalry. It's a manifestation of all of that. And when you are just anointed and you didn't ask for it, when you just want to get up there and sing the song of the Lord because you love God, and then here come this envious person, here comes baby girl who wants to compete with everything that you do, it's a nuisance. And I will admit to this. I have stepped outside the will of God for my life, even as it relates to leading worship. In a season of my life, I stopped leading because it was easier for my mental health. It's not that God told me to stop leading. It was every time I led, I had to deal with spirits of competition and envy. I don't want to deal with that. Even to this day, I'm going to be 100 with you. I love leading worship, not because it gets me attention, because I don't care about that. I love leading worship because I was created to do it. I worship at home. I don't need no microphone. I minister unto the Spirit of the Lord. It is nothing like being in a room with people who are like-minded, lifting up the name of Jesus. Listen, those moments are unprecedented for me. I love it. I crave it. It don't have to be me leading, but I'm saying in those moments where I am leading, when I am able to usher in the presence of God or usher in a moment, right? I feel like I am in my purpose, like I am in a facet of my destiny. There are moments I forfeit that. And even now, I don't lead worship because of competition and envy. There's no song I need to sing that is worth me allowing people to be nasty to me. It's just, and then I think I would do better if old people competed with me, because I get it, like your teeth falling out, you going through AARP, you're retired, like, I can get why you can be envious of a younger person. Like, okay, that voice ain't doing what he used to do. You know, you was an alto, now you a tenor. Like, you're going through some bodily decay. Like, all right, I understand why you're jealous of me and I'm younger, because you just miss your prime. I don't know. That makes more sense to me. But I still don't understand middle-aged people being jealous of millennials. Like, don't you have a job to worry about? Don't you have kids to wipe snot from their face? I don't understand how you have time to be competitive. Your hands should be full with other things. Go find something else to do, please. And that worship ministry, I'm telling y'all, it's just full of it. And I need my peace more than I need to be on the platform to sing anything. And I will tell you, I know that, because I believe in perfect and permissive will. I believe that Ooh, I can't believe I'm going to say this on this podcast. I believe I was supposed to still be leading as well as doing ministry the way that I do it, because it's just a part of my DNA. Even though I've evolved past just being a worship leader, I'm so much, I don't want to say so much more, but I've just evolved in my person, in my nature, in my giftings. Hello, I'm not just a worship leader, and there's nothing wrong with being just a worship leader because it's Levitical. In its nature, it's an accessory, okay? So I'm not trying to put a hierarchy there, but I'm just saying my role, who I am, has evolved. But I would still love to lead worship, but the warfare is too much. Well, the warfare is unnecessary. I don't have time, okay? And competition, I believe, is one of the weapons that the enemy uses to move people out of their purpose and their destiny. Because if you're constantly being competed with and your heart is right, you're going to want to get out of spaces where you're the object of competition. And that could mean you forfeiting walking in your purpose for comfort. I've done it. I admit it. And if that's you, if you are honest and you are saying, yeah, I was my boss's pet, but the fire I was under from my coworkers made me leave the job, or it made me step down, or it made me not take the position. Here's what I want to encourage you. Here's where I want to encourage you. Be fully you, even if you have to endure hardness. Even if you have to endure being stared at, being mocked, being overly chastised by your peers. I regret the moments where I allowed people who were insecure and competing with me to leave the place that God called me to be in. I regret those moments, but at the same time, I know I did what I had to do to keep my mind. And now I'm so sure of who I am. I am not going to allow dishonor. It ain't going to be that. So there may be a situation to where you can say, yes, I could take this position and be the CEO at this company, but I know it will be too much of a challenge. I won't be paid enough. I'll be dishonored, XYZ. Listen, never go against your boundaries and your morals. But also recognize that competition is a weapon of the enemy. It's not harmless. It's not harmless at all. Friendships will end because of competition. I'm going to tell you right now, I will cut you off so quick. If you show a gram of competition, I'm not dealing with it at all, because the root of it isn't just envy or rivalry. There's something else there. And I don't want to be the object of it. Why? Because that's not my purpose and destiny. I got other things to do than babysit your feelings. In my 20s, I probably would have done it. Now I'm too focused. And I believe the women of the Hey Sis community, because it's a whole league of y'all, I think we've graduated from babysitting people's feelings. I think we've graduated from this place of, oh, you don't like me? Why? What can I do? What did I do wrong? Oh, I think we've graduated from imposter syndrome. We know we're supposed to be here. We know who we are and who we are called to and who called us. With that being said, if you don't like it, move to the side. We've got to show up fully ourselves, and it doesn't matter who it upsets. If you follow me on my website, I just posted a blog. It's April the 4th, 2024. So I just posted a blog about disruption. And I believe that the Lord is really going to disrupt old paradigms and old patterns and old ways of thinking. And the disruption may manifest as suddenly, it may manifest as shifts, or however it manifests in your life. Some things are about to take a turn cataclysmically. I just made up that word. And it's okay. Can I tell you that? It's okay. Because we are being ushered into a new era, and things, our way of life, are going to be different, and we can't fight it. We have to surrender to it. There are people that are, and let me use a new age term, low vibrational. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited I got to use that term. I've been waiting. Individuals that are low vibrational, that are wounded, that need help, that just have old ways of thinking, that are toxic in their nature, that have not been awakened by the Holy Spirit to know who they are. These people are going to latch on to you because you're the light, honey. The Lord shines all around you. And I want to encourage you to keep being the light, but also be aware that the spirit of competition is alive and well, and you have the power in your mouth. You have the power to decree a thing and it will be established. You're covered in the name of Jesus. You can decree Psalm 91 over yourself. You can go forth knowing that the Lord has you covered, that no evil can come nigh your dwelling because you are a daughter of God. That's a given. That's a given. But I want you to be aware of the manifestations or the spirits that surround the manifestation of competition, and begin to pray that the Lord keep you from that, keep you from being oppressed by it, and also keep you from acting in a spirit of competition. Check your own heart. Check your own motive. If you find yourself going into competition with somebody or trying to prove yourself, abort mission. Get up out of there. I'm not doing that. We don't have time for that. You just need to stand in your purpose. You just need to make sure that you're aligned with what the Lord has said concerning you and your destiny. That other stuff, the Lord gonna remove because He loves you. He's gonna remove it because He loves you simply. And the Lord wants you to achieve everything He has planned for you while you have breath in your body on this earth. That's the truth. Ephesians 4:1-4 in the NLT version says, "Therefore I, a prisoner, Paul, for serving the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling. For you have been called by God. Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. For there is one body and one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future." I hope this was a clarion call for you to realize that if unity isn't a part of it, you shouldn't be a part of it either. If you gotta prove yourself to the point you operating in pride, or you gotta sabotage somebody, or you gotta monitor them to see what they doing, you gotta talk bad about them, then you don't need to be doing it. You don't. Real sisterhood, being a daughter of Christ, let's start there. Being a daughter of Christ does not involve rivalry. It does not involve strife. It does not involve competition. It doesn't. Not in any shape or form. It involves being loving. It involves being an equal opportunity. Equal opportunity? Something like that. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It involves being trustworthy. It involves being compassionate. It involves surrender and self-awareness. You got to know what you're good at. And it's great to know what other people are good at. Not to compete with them about it, but to know, hey, you're good at administration. I'm good at speaking. And maybe together we can build this business. I don't need to try to be a better administrator to compete with you. I need to acknowledge your gifting and say, how can we collaborate to bring God glory? Not how can I be better than you so I can fulfill my lust for fame or notoriety or being someone. That's the whole podcast. Those are my thoughts. I said what I said. In conclusion, I'm a stand on business. I love leading worship, y'all. That's my happy place. I just did it a few weeks, last week actually. I was invited to lead worship for a Good Friday service, and I'll be honest with y'all, to hear people singing, the same frequency, the same sound, it giving glory to God, those moments are so unmatched for me. Like, it's like, we all love you, God. Like, we're all here for you. Like, those moments, it's such a privilege. It's an honor. And I don't take those moments for granted because I want to offer God my best praise, my best worship. Not just nothing pulled together, but my best. And it further just confirmed it further confirmed my resolve. I don't want to lead worship in any space where I'm not supported as a daughter. If I got to lead and worry about if you're going to back me up because you angry or you're trying to compete or you're trying to, I don't know, you're trying to call me a gatekeeper because I won't tell you information about my life. Like, it's just weird. I don't want that. I just want to be a part of pure worship. That's what I want. And with that, because I know we worship to the King, but it's also realizing I'm a daughter and that I'm worthy of respect. Everyone around me is worthy of respect. But what we're not going to do is allow competition to reign unchecked. We're not going to do that. It's a new age, baby. And the Lord is still requiring that we worship in spirit and in truth. Not the spirit of competition in truth, but his spirit and in truth. And it's my prayer for you that you don't make the same mistakes I have in the past and shrink back because a group of people that outnumbered me because people don't like how gifted you are, or people don't like how God has fashioned you. Don't do that. Shine. Put on your coat of many colors and fulfill your purpose and destiny in the earth. That's all I got. I love y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Hey Sis podcast. Continue the conversation by visiting www.thedevens.com and follow us for more updates.